Hello, hello, welcome to the seminal Unnecessary Difficulties podcast where Blue and Ian, that's me, the one made of flesh, not of CGI, we make hellish, chimeric, multi-bag cups of tea, and then we discuss how much we regret the decisions we just made. So that's nice. Say hello, Blue,
Hello,
and say hello, me, hello. So, Blue, who and how are you?
I am Blue Tomatoes and I am a streamer over on YouTube and content creator up and coming.
Damn straight, damn straight. Be the next big thing. We both believe it. We both
Yeah,
know
I
it,
think
in
so.
fact. Yeah, good. And I'm Ian J Reid on pretty much YouTube and Twitch and wherever else you care to find me. So I do some streaming and various content creation. Also do lots of writing, and I write short stories and upload them to ireadstories.co.uk. And I really hope you can see what I did there. Uh, but what are we here to do today, Blue?
We're here to make some unholy concoction of tea and talk about some things we find interesting, I guess.
Yeah, that sounds reasonable enough to me. So let's dive on in before this tea gets any colder than it already is, because I can't imagine that being cold is going to make it taste any better. I mean, I guess being hot
Uh,
wouldn't make it taste good, but cold's not going to help.
yep, you have a point there, so let's get to it.
All right, so
So,
it's
Ian, tell
yes.
me about the two bags of tea you have chosen for this endeavor of ours.
Well, today I've started, started simple and reasonable because it's a drizzly day, as we were discussing before we started recording. So I wanted something that sort of suits that rainy day in scenario, something soothing and calming and rejuvenating. So I've gone for a base of chamomile, a nice chamomile tea bag, which is very herbal, very rejuvenating, very calming, non-caffeinated. So I can just use it for a nice chill out, calm day. But it's also the morning, so you need something to pep you up and really wake you up. So I've also gone for an English breakfast, a nice Yorkshire tea, classic, normal, strong black tea. And it's in colour, it's gone largely, if I just try and contort the webcam down, it largely looks like a normal cup of tea. I've left the chamomile bag in because chamomile is obviously it's a lot weaker than an English breakfast, so I wanted to give it a chance to, infuse properly. It has stained the chamomile tea bag a really horrid colour. I don't feel good about putting what comes out of this into my body, but I'm going to do it, in a minute. But what have you gone for? Let's hear what you've made before we ruin my taste buds with this.
I switched. I saw for our video viewers, I'm gonna switch to my camera, and for our audio viewers, I'll explain it.
Hmm.
Okay, let me see. Oh, cause it's. Oh wait, it's out of view. It's out of view.
There
Go
we
into view.
go. Yes.
So basically, because it's the up and coming winter season and Christmas is encroaching on, basically always on which month is it again?
It's November now, and December
On
is the
November.
Christmas month.
So yeah, I'm going with a caramel pear
Oh, nice.
because yeah, why not? It's
Yeah,
the season for
it
it. It's
sounds
cold. It's drooly.
yeah.
And just for the heck of it, I'm going for some tropical fruit tea
Oh,
from a generic blend from Superstore.
nice. So you get the sweet caramelly notes from the
Yep.
caramel pear, but also the tropical vibrance of a tropical fruit drink. As many fruits as you can get in one mug, plus also
Yep.
some caramel, which I'm sure will marry beautifully together. And again, just for anyone listening in audio, there was a good double tea bag jiggle there inside
Yeah.
Blue's mug. It's significantly darkened the colour, having shaken the tea bags there. It was a very yellow tea, and now it's gone quite, to be fair, caramelly brown. So that's quite
Yeah.
nice.
So
And you've
I
you've
I
you've
have
gone for the
also added
classic.
some artificial sweeteners to it, but
Yes, because let's face it, tropical fruit and caramelized pear sound like they both need sweetening quite a lot, quite sour
yes.
flavors. I'm glad you've gone for the quite classic continental, from what I've seen anyway, glass for making your tea. Whereas I've gone for a very very English traditional ceramic porcelain white mug, but this one is a Zelda mug, so it has lots of different iterations of Link printed on the sides. It's got a
It's a
nice
dope
nice
mark.
ergonomic handle. It's a pretty dope mug. It balances capacity with weight because if you have too much tea, obviously it's quite heavy, but you need enough to get a satisfaction from the drink. So it's really
Of
a
course.
workhorse, this mug. So
Yeah, I've gone like you said, with a clear glass mug.
mhm.
But it's something from where I'm live. People call this tea glasses for some reason.
But that's fine. If it's a glass for tea, I think we can contrive the logic from there. That's good.
Because typically people want to drink coffee out of a more white stained glass.
Hmm. But
Some
still glass.
some porcelain, I
Oh,
mean.
okay, sure.
Couldn't
Yeah,
find the word.
that's fine. That's fine. When you're talking your second language about specific types of ceramic, it's forgivable to not think of the word. I think that's okay.
Yeah.
But I have, I've read and heard people talking about this psychological thing where tea and coffee taste better from a white mug, or people think they do. They expect it to be in a white mug, so they sort of lean towards it and think it's nicer. I don't know if that effect is going to help with what we've made. I fear that psychology isn't strong enough to overcome what
Oh,
horrors we've wrought.
I'm basically immune to psychology because uh,
Nice. Because
has
you're
been
blue.
tr- has been tried too many times on me.
Alright, good. You're.
Reverse, counter reverse, double reverse.
No matter what direction psychology is going in, it has no effect on you. You're going to taste the full, real flavour of that tea, or let your brain
Of course.
fooling you into anything. Good. I think we've fluffed around avoiding
So
this tea as much as we can.
let's have a taste.
Okay, here goes.
Oh, damn, that's hot.
Mm. Mine's a nice drinking temperature, and there end the pleasant qualities of what's in this cup. It's
Uh, Mine is kind of hot, but I also taste the overwhelming presence of the caramel in this
uh,
tea.
oh, so the caramel is overpowering everything else and just
Yeah,
asserting
so it
itself.
is basically caramel.
That's good. I mean, this I'm getting a domination from the chamomile in this one. I did give it a brief English breakfast steep and then leave the chamomile in, and I think the chamomile has done a surprising job of of forcing some flavours through. So you get a chamomile hit first, but then the English breakfast sort of creeps up behind you and it says, "No, you will not enjoy this. Have the taste of dirt," which seems to be what the two have combined into.
Oh, wait. No. Oh, damn. Okay, now it's I've drinking some, and you know when you drink or eat something, and sometimes it has an aftertaste.
Mm-hmm.
This does, because you have first the powerful, overpowering taste of caramel,
Mm-hmm.
and when that dulls down, then you get the beautiful combination of fruit dancing
Okay.
on your taste buds.
And
So it wasn't a bad choice, so
no,
to say.
happy
No,
days.
yeah,
I
I'm happy with this one.
good. I think that
Who
the
knew?
pairing of fruits together that worked out well for you. And in fairness, this is nowhere near as foul as I was expecting it to be. I thought I was going to have to press charges against myself and take myself down to the police station for what I'd done. But actually, it's all right.
Wait, isn't this illegal where you live?
I'm not telling the British police, all right? They don't have to
Okay.
know. Oh, webcam decided not to focus there, but that's fine. Yeah, I say it just tastes like kind of a chamomile with a strong aftertaste. Is what I'd say, and the aftertaste is a bit dirt-like, but it's not awful.
Can can I
It's
confess
passable.
something?
You can.
I never have tried caramel.
It's it's one of my favourites because it's
Okay.
non-caffeinated and it's very quite a gentle, soothing kind of flavour. I drink it a lot at any time of day really, but I pound it down at work just because it's a nice chill out vibe. And I've been reliably informed by a friend of mine that if you take 3 or 4 chamomile tea bags and just put them in your mouth and chew them for a while, you get some kind of minor, I guess not even quite a high, more like a low from it. Just it's a very tranquilizing sort of thing. So it accentuates that calming effect and actually has a psychological, not psychological, neurological, I guess. That it does a chemical thing to your brain and says you're going to go to sleep for a bit now. So I've never tried that because I don't feel the need to chew on tea bags as much as anything else. But Cameron, are you going to focus any better than that? Nah, maybe.
Don't worry. It's only for the YouTube viewers.
Exactly. Who even cares about seeing faces? But no, it's a strong favourite chamomile. I would recommend it if you're into your non-caffeinated chill out hot drinks.
I myself have also a type of tea that I drink at work, but it's more because I'm always outside. So
Hmm.
I'll have one of those thermal canisters,
Yeah, yeah,
that keeps for some reason is the whole day hot.
yeah.
But
A good
uh,
thermos.
I I'll make the tea in the morning, but because even though it stays hot, the sometimes the taste fades.
Yep, yep.
So I have tried about a dozen of different teas and sees what works. And in my opinion, orange.
Orange,
Yeah,
orange
orange.
tea, or
Yeah,
just nice.
the fruit, not the color.
Any tea that's stained orange will hold.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, on that note, I've been getting into just hot fruit juices and hot squash uh, this winter, and it's just really nice. Like a hot lemon and lime squash, it's ruddy lovely.
Okay, for
Go
our
right in
viewers
there.
that don't know, what is a squash?
A squash is a fruit juice concentrate. So it's basically a way of having a large volume of fruit juice without having to buy 50 litres of it. So you pour a little bit into a cup and then dilute it with water, and then it's a fruit flavoured drink.
So it's basically syrup.
Basically, it's a syrup, yeah. A syrup that you make wetter, and then it's less syrupy and more just fruity. It's quite
Yeah,
aggressive to drink it without diluting. You always try it a little bit, but it fights back.
yeah,
But yeah, you
yeah.
have that hot. Oh, that's a delight.
Okay,
So yeah, but
yeah.
that's a relative success, I think. I'm not going to say that I'll do this habitually because it's less good than either chamomile alone or Yorkshire tea alone, but it's perfectly drinkable. If I happen to drop 2 bags into a cup while pouring the water in, it's fine. You can get through it.
Hmm. And can you drink this hot, cold? Does it
Uh,
matter?
as it cooled down, it didn't really get much worse, to be honest. So I
Okay.
think that was okay. It's a reliable cup of tea. You could forget about it for 10 minutes, come back to it, and you can still get it in you. That's important.
Oh, so it's basically like coffee.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
It doesn't lose the taste.
No, it did not lose the taste by any stretch. How about yours? Have you finished yours off?
I am about 80% there.
Okay, and is it still as pleasant as it was as it cools?
I can't complain.
Nice.
I probably could, but this would not be fair to the tea.
Exactly. You can always do it. You can get some complaint out because you're blue. You can do whatever you put your mind to. But yes, it would be unethical and unfair. But
Hmm.
I will call that a success. We've ticked off 2 combinations for the good of humankind and science, which is really what we sought to do, I'm sure.
I hope so. But yeah, let's stay on the topic on the topic of unfair and unethical.
Mm, nice segue. Let's go.
Yeah, I'm good at those. Played Segway server for for years.
Nice.
No, but did you hear about that woman in America that got charged $700 after waiting for hours on the ER without receiving any treatment?
I did not, but that sounds absolutely brutal.
Yeah, okay. So a couple of days ago, I was scrolling on. I'm not gonna say which website I'm getting my memes from, but because that will spark a whole other debate, I guess.
Yeah, no, fair, fair.
But apparently, a woman in Georgia left the hospital emergency room without receiving any treatment and got charged 700. Man, that's totally
700.
bonkers.
Well, yeah, $700 for the privilege of sitting down in a hospital not receiving care.
Yeah,
That's lunacy. It's
and
utter
what's
lunacy.
what's up with that?
Yeah, I mean, I know
So
American healthcare is renowned for being like awful in terms of how much it gouges money out of people, but at least that is for being treated, not just as a fine for loitering. Effectively, I mean, I presume she was there to have something done, and there was no one available to treat her, and then she left for reasons of going to sleep or eating or something. But to be charged for that can't be right. That can't be okay.
yeah, no, it's not, because we live both in countries where the health care system is on the up and up, so to say.
Hmm.
And where I live, you don't get treated like that because you get sometimes you have to wait,
Mm.
but it isn't like they charge you for
No.
just sitting.
Well, I mean, imagine if you went to literally anywhere else and you were told, oh, there's a queue, and you wait in the queue for a bit and then you leave and they charge you anyway. Like, I'm not going to go to a restaurant and they say, oh, the table here in half an hour, and you wait for 20 minutes, then leave, and they charge you for a full meal because you've been there for 20 minutes. No. You've received nothing. You've paid money to receive no good nor a service. I mean,
Yep.
so I presume this person must have somehow checked into the hospital, given their details, and been told, "Oh, there's a wait. Go and wait over there." And then after some amount of time, left, and then they just sent her an invoice, or did they have some kind of bouncers at the doors of the hospital who stopped her and said, "No, no, no, you're not going anywhere until we've had $700 because you've used our chairs, and seven
No,
hundred dollars of chair wear has been inflicted
from
by
what
you."
from what I'm reading, was a few weeks later she received a nearly 700 bill for the visit.
I, I mean, I would hope I'd hope with every ounce of optimism that's in my being that this was a clerical error on the part of the hospital.
I'm
But
also hoping that because
yeah,
if this would to happen to me, I couldn't pay that in one sitting, so to say.
and I
Or
think you just wouldn't, right?
no,
There's no way you just
who,
consent to
who
paying that.
who has that kind of money even lying around on a normal paying job?
Yeah, you can't just casually drop $700 out of it. Oh yeah, that's fine. You
If
know,
I could, if I could drop $700, I would buy a better graphics card or something.
yes, quite. I think that's fair and reasonable. There are
Yeah,
far better ways of spending that much money than for waiting in a hospital reception area. I'd do that for free, sure. You know, I wouldn't pay even £10 for that. So no, that's a classic American healthcare story. I think
yeah.
here's an underwhelming service. Also,
It,
pay us an ungodly amount of money for it.
it's even better than the one that there was a receipt for how much it costs to get picked up by an ambulance or something. I hope I pronounced it right.
Yep, yep, that's right.
Okay, so apparently that can get you around even 500 for just getting picked up by it.
Sheesh.
So some people in the US that I have talked to, because I have family living there, said
Mhm.
that it was better to get an Uber to the hospital.
yeah,
Uh,
that's the
but
it's the sign of a broken system, isn't it? Your healthcare
yeah,
system doesn't work if people can't afford to have their life saved.
yeah, it's just it is just the culture of capitalism in America.
Yeah, no, definitely, and it's leaning towards that way in the UK, depending on who you listen to, with our government trying to sort of privatise our healthcare and sell bits of it off to American healthcare companies and things. And it's a terrifying notion, especially to people like us who have grown up with free healthcare, knowing you have this safety net of if I get hurt, it's not going to cripple me financially, or I won't have to choose between medicine and food. I really can't imagine what it must be like to live life in a country where you don't know that you can be saved if you have an accident, you know? But if you think, if I hurt myself, it's not just the fact I'm hurt and loss of earnings while I can't work. It's then a bill to pay for the privilege of being too ill to work. You know, it's absolutely, absolutely boggling. And health insurance isn't exactly cheap either, is it? Is it for them?
No, we have a health insurance system here in the Netherlands, but it's affordable, I
Mm-hmm.
guess so, because I can afford it, and
Yeah. Okay.
believe me, I don't make the bank.
Yeah.
So
And I think
but
I've
you can choose between different providers, so to say. It's
yeah,
like a phone subscription,
yeah.
and they say, okay, for this amount of money, we offer you this, and this.
Mm-hmm.
You can get extra coverage on certain things depending on your needs.
That's pretty
That's
cool.
mostly about 20 extra in the month.
Mm-hmm.
So I myself have physical therapy in an extra coverage package
Yep.
because I'll have most likely any other month back problems.
Right. Yeah, which is not so great.
No, but
But if you have the health insurance to cover it, at least you know you can get some
yeah,
treatment.
because otherwise, going to someone to massage your back, so to say,
Mm-hmm.
cost about 35 euros.
Oof.
Yeah,
So if it's
and if you need multiple treatments, then believe me, that adds up.
no, definitely. So I had some sort of private physical therapy a few years ago, and I think that was around £40 per session, and it was only every 6 to 8 weeks. It wasn't crippling over that timescale. But yeah, if you had to have something every week or every few days, that's incredibly untenable. So then a 20 £20 a month insurance premium for it suddenly becomes very tempting, doesn't it?
Yep.
And certainly there are private healthcare places in the UK, and some of them aren't too expensive. I think you can get an MRI scan in some of them for about £250 or something, which is not the sort of money you want to throw away, but equally it's not £2,000 like you might be charged in the US. So yeah, I think trying to run healthcare in a way that makes a profit is fundamentally at odds with what healthcare seeks to achieve. Uh, it'd be like having a privatized police force or something. It's there to provide a service, an emergency service, and it has to be decoupled from a person's own financial well-being. Otherwise, you're not protecting your citizens in the state of an emergency, which feels like it's kind of the job of a government, make
Yeah.
sure its people can stay safe and live in that country. Maybe that's a
Yeah,
weird notion.
but the problem is basically the US government is owned by big corporates there.
Yes, no,
They,
that's
they, they should adopt a system like NASCAR. Just put your logo on the politician you own.
yeah. At least there'd be transparency there, right?
Yeah,
If you're going to be corrupt, own it.
yeah, of course.
Yeah. Which was another thing in the UK this week. The sitting government voted to pass a law that was going to dissolve the body or the policies that hold them accountable for corruption. Because a member of the government did something that was corrupt. They took some money that they shouldn't have done, or used it to promote interests of a business with which they had some investment. And they paid a
That's
hundred thousand
really
pounds or something. Yeah, and they were found shown to be guilty of this corruption. So the party decided to pass a law to abolish what they were held guilty of. And then naturally, there was a huge backlash about it from all the other parties and even some of their own party who voted against it. And they then since said, okay, you know what, sure, we hear what you're saying. All we wanted to do was make it better, but we'll make it better and then abolish the old one. Trying to sleaze their way out of it. But what made it worse was there's this concept of a parliamentary whip in the UK, whereby the political party instigating the vote had this whip who can mandate that all the party members must vote in favour or against something. So it sort of stops being a proper vote by your MP doing what they think is right, and
That's
says
a
the party
veto.
demands we do it. Effectively, it's a veto to force you to say yes or no, rather than just vetoing against it. So the
That's
party
not the that is not
forced.
what's the word I'm looking for? Democracy. That's the word I was looking
Yeah,
for.
it's not democracy. It's
It's
the part.
basically getting a noose on your neck and saying, "Okay, we will not hang you if you do said
Yeah,
thing we ask of you."
exactly. So they use this parliamentary whip to force everyone to be in favour of something that would stop them being held accountable for corruption, which is
Oh,
the most
wait.
flagrantly anti-democratic thing.
I have a better one. It's literally a puppet government
Yes,
in a sense.
yeah, it feels a lot like that, and
Like
I'm sure
dance
that
puppet dance because we say so.
yeah, and I think there are ways you can legitimise the use of a party whip, and I think it exists for a reason. I'm not particularly well versed in the UK political structure, so I can't say exactly why it was introduced or what the best uses for it are. But one could say in a state of emergency, you need to make a decision, and rather than perhaps waiting for everyone to come to a consensus, you say we have to do something sooner rather than later. We're voting this way on this issue, and because we just think we have to do something, you can contrive a reason to make this system exist, but to use it to exonerate one of your own from corruption charges is sketchy as all heck. So yeah, that the
But
corruption runs deep in
yeah,
every country. It's not just healthcare companies or rifle companies or anything else in the US manipulating them. It's just people in power love money.
Ian, just
Yes.
to clarify for our viewers and listeners, was this local government
This
or
is national government. This
county
this is
national?
the
Okay,
full the
yeah,
full country.
okay,
And the
because
prime minister loves being corrupt as well. He's been involved in several scandals over the last couple of years.
okay, this sounds really stupid, but which guy is your prime minister again?
Boris Johnson is the current prime minister of the UK. He's
Wait, is that a real name?
it's a real name. Boris Johnson is a real human, as far as I can tell.
I
Even
thought he
though
was
the
fake made up.
actions, the things he does would lead you to believe so. It would be very difficult to write Boris Johnson as a character because people would say, no, no one's that much of a flagrant buffoon and corrupt general. Several expletives here. Yeah, but
Because
he's just corrupt.
I've been on the internet for a long time and I've seen some stuff that you will guess if you're not in the Matrix or something like my virtual avatar is right now. But
Yeah,
like every day something even weirder will come out.
yeah, and that's
Like okay. For example, there was literally there was I guess a day ago or 2 days ago, a, a heist over GPUs,
a GP.
graphic cards.
Yeah, good,
Like
good.
they stole some NVIDIA's 3060s and 3090s,
Wow.
valued between about I would round up 200 no 2000 and 330.
Wow.
Yeah,
I mean, that's what a 2 year long chip shortage will do when GPUs are also being used for crypto mining, I guess. They'll say, no, this now becomes a black market trade. Let's get on it with graphics cards. I mean, has there
yeah,
been any sign on whether it's a crypto heist to use them for mining, or if it's a scalper thing to sell them on because they're in such high demand? Is there any speculation
I
yet?
think it's the high demand thing. It's like it's almost the plot point of a GTA game story mode.
Yeah,
But it would be lit if it was going to be some story in a game.
yeah. I mean, again, I've heard less ludicrous things in games, and more ludicrous things. It would fit right in.
Yeah,
Yeah, I would quite like a 3060. Don't get me wrong. I'm
yeah,
probably
me
not going to go
too.
and steal one because that feels like it's not okay. I'll
No, it's
sit with
not.
my
It's not fair for the
2060.
rest of us.
No,
No.
everyone has to go into those raffles online to pay far too much money for last year's cards because all chip production has been ruined. Well, I
Yep.
think there's sort of light at the end of the tunnel. People are starting to speculate that the chip shortage may end at some point in 2022, which is
Make it 2023.
by 2026 we'll all be able to get ourselves a 1080.
Then we can finally afford and 3090 while the 6090 already is out.
Yeah, yeah, we'll live behind the curve for a while. That's fine.
I guess.
No, I was very happy that I upgraded my PC in 2019, so probably about 6 months before the chip shortage sort of already hit. Managed to get myself a
That's
2060 Super.
that's when I bought my 1050 because I was working with a budget PC because my PC that was the fastest card, so to say, that my PC could handle at that time.
Sure.
So
Yeah. Yeah. Other component bottlenecks.
yeah.
Yeah. No, I just did a full rebuild because I've been working for a number of years and think, okay, I have some money, I can afford to do this. My previous PC had done me for 8 years, which I think is it's pretty reasonable going. But okay, after 8 years, let's chop into something else that I can then use for streaming. I can use it for music and playing the games I want to play at the resolution I want to play them.
I rebuilt mine last year, literally a month after I met you, I guess.
Like, okay, if I know this Ian character, I need a PC to handle him. That's what
Yeah,
you
yeah. My PC back then couldn't handle the amounts of jokes and quippy comments that you made.
Naturally, yeah.
It was too much to handle.
That's fair, and that's right. I should be the leading cause of new computers being manufactured. And if anyone is listening and thinks their PC is too out of date for me, for shame, absolutely for shame, go out and spend all your money on a PC just to listen to me. That's a reasonable demand, I think. And let me know. Say, Ian, you bankrupted me because I had to buy a 3090 and I couldn't get one cheap, so I paid $5,000 for it. And I'll say, good. I won't even thank you. It's just right that you did so.
$5,000?
I'm guessing. Probably you can get them for $5,000 or less. I haven't been looking. I don't pay attention to these things, Blue. I have my graphics card. I'll start looking at it when I need one.
Okay, I see one for $3,000.
That's 1.5 times what I spent on my whole PC.
And this is on a retailer I personally order my parts from. So
yeah, it's one you.
That is to the up and up. That is not even scalping. This is just the price.
Yeah, I think I was talking to some other streamers the other day who managed to, just by sheer luck, get I think 3080s or 3090s through normal routes in the UK by a company called Overclockers, and they were just shocked because they were nowhere, and they just happened to browse onto this website and say, yeah, we have some available, not shouting about it, not jacking the price up, just yeah, we have some in stock. And they speculatively said, oh, yeah, I'm going to try and buy one because this might be the only opportunity we get for the next 3 years to get one. It's odd how the stock levels fluctuated between businesses like that. Or I guess there are some that are more niche.
At this point, I'm going to settle for literally a 3060. Because why not?
I think even settling for a 3060 is quite a statement. I mean, a 3060 is a good card. It'll do, won't it?
I guess.
Yes.
What is the most... I think the most aggressive thing I can run is literally my OBS. That's because I do Streamlabs.
Yeah. I mean, I hear a lot of talk about Streamlabs being very, very CPU intensive.
Yeah, but it's so easy
not
to
hitting me right
use.
now. It is very user friendly, isn't it? I still have OBS on my PC. I haven't really used it, but I mean, I have Streamlabs open now to record this as well, and it's using 4% of my CPU.
This is doable.
Yeah.
789 euros.
That's all right. What, for a
Yeah,
3060?
yeah, for 3060.
Yeah. I mean, why not?
Yeah, built by MSI, because I guess NVIDIA doesn't have first-party builds, only third-party builds.
Hmm. That's not bad though. That's a lot better than I was expecting.
Yeah, and it's the I don't know if there are different versions of it, because I see 12 GB mentioned.
Yeah.
I'll say that it's VRAM.
Yeah, it'll be VRAM. So there'll be several different versions, which all have fun names. Like I think my previous card was a Wind Force variant of the graphics card. Yeah, Wind Force. What a good X-Men style name.
So did the card blow?
It blew hard. It had 3 fans. It was saying, "I want to be cool, and I want to be cool now. Here's 3 fans for the Wind Force." And
Yeah, I would have gone for Water Force.
yeah. I mean, it's always tempting to do a water cooled build. Just for the
I
extreme
did.
cooling available. Yeah. How did you
I
find it?
did for my CPU, because otherwise I am literally get some bacon ready on my PC. It's getting hot.
yeah. I've got an air cooled one, and it's just the stock cooler in it as well because the CPU I happened to get, all the reviews said you don't really need to buy a third party cooler for this. The stock one's actually very good, which is handy. It's an AMD, it's a Ryzen
That's
7 series of some sort. But it
that's
was
nice.
well reviewed, so yeah, that was fine. I didn't have to worry about thermal paste and bolting more coolers onto it, so that was a relief.
Wait, please tell me you used at least thermal paste before you put on the stock
Oh
cooler.
yeah,
Okay.
the stock cooler was already mounted to the CPU as I got it.
Okay.
So it pasted up already. I didn't just say no paste for me.
Because that's a
I
common
want,
mistake people make,
yeah. I mean, in
and
working in
especially with first-time builders.
yeah. This was my first build that I'd done myself. My brother had previously built my other PCs for me. I had a little bit of experience, so seeing things from him and upgrading the odd component here or there. But it was my first actual build of this one, and it's quite scary doing it the first time because you know how much you spent on these components, and you can
Oh
feel in your
yeah.
hands how delicate some of them are, and you just don't want to screw anything up. But it was good to have done it, and it'll be a lot easier next time. Sort of just knowing, okay, here's how I did this, here's how much I could get away with tolerances and stuff.
It took myself, it took literally 7 hours to build my PC, but that was
Yeah,
because I
same.
needed to look up a tutorial how to install a water cooler.
yeah. yeah. But it's good that you spent the 7 hours and had a tutorial rather than guessing. I think that's the main
Yeah,
thing, isn't it?
because
Yeah.
I could just as well have bricked my whole PC with it,
Yeah. Yeah.
or bottlenecked it, because the slightest thing can go wrong and will probably go wrong at some point.
Yeah, it's worth putting in the time to choose the
Yeah.
right components that are compatible with one another. Double check the prices, double check everything works. Run it by someone else and say, "Have I made a stupid mistake here?" And they say,
Oh,
"No, this is great." Bingo.
I got it covered. I use this website. I don't know which one it is again. Sorry for that.
Yeah.
But it has a built-in PC part picker.
Hmm.
And it says, oh no, this component is not compatible with this type of main board.
Sure. Yeah, that's a good
Motherboard, what? How do you guys call it?
motherboard.
Okay, motherboard. So
Yeah.
yeah, and it's real easy to get some price performance ratio.
Yeah. No, I think that's a really good service. That's a really good idea.
Yeah.
It's sort of helping you optimize the build.
Mm. The only thing I didn't bargain for was the fact that I accidentally bought a water cooler with built-in RGB.
Hey, it's fancy now. It's nice and colourful.
Yeah, I don't care for it for some reason. It's a gimmick in my opinion.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I've got RGB on my
Oh.
CPU, but my PC's in such a place that I can't see it anyway. So
Yeah,
I know it's
I've
there. I know it's pretty, but whatever.
I've one of those glass panel builds
Nice, nice.
because the case was kind of on the cheap side, but the right height and width
Hmm.
and depth.
But I think that's all that really
Because
matters. Like a case
because
just needs to be big enough to give you adequate space and adequate
I needed
airflow.
to put a water cooler into it.
Yeah. And yes, that. But no, that's neat. I'm,
On
I'm,
the topic of building, you have heard that they are going to erect an Emperor Palpatine statue in cannot pronounce that Scotland.
in cannot pronounce it's got good. Yeah, you.
Oh no,
I,
not cannot pronounce. Carnoun St. Scotland.
I, I hadn't until you mentioned it, but I'm really glad they are. I think it's high time that Emperor Palpatine got some respect around here. He's often, painted just as a villain, but I'm sure that the Emperor had his own reasons for doing what he did, and maybe there's some good in and among the bad. You know, for every Alderaan he blew up, maybe he built a school on Coruscant. We don't know. We
I
absolutely don't know,
haven't
do we?
seen the newest films. Like I haven't seen that much Star Wars since 2019, I guess,
Yeah.
because I've been busy. But wait, the new films are the Skywalker saga, are they?
Yeah, so I also haven't seen many of the new
Yeah,
ones. I saw, is it Force Awakens,
because
Episode 7? No.
yeah,
Is it? Yeah,
because
7.
what I've gathered from it was that he raised from the dead or something.
Yeah, either came back from the dead or maybe some cloning thing, possibly.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
I know cloning from the dead is one of the plots of one of the games. I think The Force Unleashed 2.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
because
I've heard almost exclusively bad things about episode 8 and 9. Lots of people said don't bother watching them, so I haven't bothered watching them. I also didn't watch
yeah,
Solo. I,
was
I watched Rogue One, and I thought Rogue One was a good film. I really enjoyed it. It was good fun.
okay.
I'd recommend that one because it had it, but it's a
Haven't seen it
standalone
yet,
film.
but
It has less of an arc to it. It's not the sort of classic Star Wars trilogy kind of film of fish out of water hero learning the Force and then taking down the baddie.
oh,
It
it's just like the Han Solo movie.
it's more like almost like a heist movie in a way because they're trying to steal some plans, and
Okay.
it felt a bit closer to Empire Strikes Back in terms of it just being that little bit. I'm not going to say dark, but having a little bit less whimsy in some of it. Um, and there's this sort of creeping sense of dread over the top of it because these characters did not appear in any of the films that came up before it, which are set after it because it's set just before A New Hope. So everyone's kind of going to go down. So it has this sort of this melancholy sense over the top of it, saying, "Don't get too attached because these people probably aren't going to be around for a long time." Um, but I thought it was a really good film, that one. But I've
I
not
should
really.
take a look at it. I probably next in one of these days, so to say.
Yeah, when you're coming into the winter, it's where I guess your workload's lighter in the winter, right? Because you
Can
don't
you repeat that?
you don't work as much in the winter, do you?
No, because yeah, it's cold and outside work is unbearable sometimes.
Yeah, I feel
So I will probably be put on office duty.
that. Well, office duty with a bad back is probably better than not office duty in the cold with a bad back. We can
Yes,
cherish that. So,
believe me, with a bad back, you can better stand and walk than sit down.
oh, that is
It,
very fair. That is fair. Yeah,
it's
you need to
literally
keep
walking
moving.
is the best thing to do to get over back pain.
Yeah, you need to stop it seizing up, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, but use this winter time with less work to catch up on all these films and things that you otherwise didn't get around to. I guess binge things in
Yeah,
the winter, then work all summer.
I'm currently doing that because there were some animes that I hadn't watched yet from
Mm-hmm.
previous seasons.
Very nice.
But there are also some things that are coming up, like the second season of the He-Man Revelations.
Okay, sure.
This is the I talked to you about that some
Yeah,
time ago,
you
I
did.
guess.
Yeah, you mentioned it.
Yeah,
You said it was quite good.
uh, it got some negative reception from the fans, but I think that are just the purists.
Right, sure.
Yeah, and I don't know. Have you ever seen the Karate Kid movies?
I haven't. No.
Oh, like there's this show that started on YouTube, was kinda successful, but not super successful.
Mm-hmm.
Got bought off by Netflix, and it blew up.
Oh, is that Cobra Kai?
Yeah, Cobra Kai. Yeah, and what I've gathered from the information gathering sources, it's getting its fourth season on the 1st of December.
Neat. It's nice
So
seeing those success stories, isn't it?
yeah,
Oh, that's cool. But to cycle back round, why are people building a statue of Emperor Palpatine in Scotland? Why Scotland specifically?
okay. The article says there's one character in Star Wars, Skywalker Saga, that has proven to have a lasting appeal with fans. And I haven't seen the
Just
movies, but
people like
what
him.
I think is that they've filmed some scenes in Scotland.
Right. Okay.
So like they filmed the Lord of the Rings in I
New
kind of
Zealand.
want yeah I want to say New Zealand.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so
No, that's fair enough. I mean, why not commemorate
yeah,
the most
this,
evil person in the galaxy?
I think it's some kind of tourist trap that they are building.
How cynical of you! How cynical and correct of you!
You're speaking the truth, man.
I can't deny that. You're the prophet of these revelations of truth.
No, I'm using common sense.
No. Definitely prophetic. You're Nostradamus. I'll not hear another word about it.
Wait, Nostradamus wasn't great seer or something.
Yeah, he was a
Yeah,
soothsayer. He predicted the future, and I'm not going to say he did it successfully. End of statement.
yeah. I only know this because I watched as a kid a show called Huntic or something.
Right.
It's some French animation company that uses history in combination with some kind of Pokemon type monster fight battle.
Good. That sounds like it should have been a core concept for all of us. I would
Yeah,
love to see
it got two
effectively like.
seasons, so
Of course it did. Now, what I'm picturing in my head is something like Bill and Ted, where they go to different historical eras and pick up famous historical characters, but they store them in Pokeballs like Pokemon. So you just have
oh no,
some rich kid from the Midwest of America turning up in ancient Greece, throwing a Pokeball at, let's say, Herodotus. And like, right, Herodotus, you're going to fight Descartes. And they go to France, they find someone else, another trainer with Descartes. They unleash them into a ring together, and it's just bare knuckle philosophy.
it's basically you got these creatures called titans from another world that are
Hmm.
stored in amulets,
Okay,
and you can invoke them, so to say.
so you can release them from the Pokeball, where the
Yeah,
Pokeball is the amulet.
yeah,
Good,
and
good.
most amulets are scattered around the world in historical sites, and the most many historical characters used them for their own things, like Vlad the Impaler, Joan of Arc,
Mmm.
uh, Lancelot, all this.
That's cool though.
Yeah,
Like I do like content like that where they weave
Jason
some
and the
supernatural thing.
Atronachs.
Argonauts.
Yeah, you got
Yep.
all those stories and backgrounds.
Yeah. That's cool. I think I like ones
Yeah,
like that. Where it gradually sort of gently seeds history into what you're otherwise watching to make it seem cool, and they weave this fantasy narrative into what they did.
it literally successfully tricked me in learning history.
Ugh. Well,
Even something that my teachers in school couldn't do.
no, I mean, history is really interesting. There's lots of really cool stuff to learn. But in school, they just tell you all the worst bits and present it in the most boring way possible.
Yeah,
You tell someone just all the absolute nonsense that went into ancient Greek history and the Odyssey and the way they recorded history wrong through the oral tradition and stuff like that, and they wove in, just folklore and tales into their actual history. They'd be absolutely brilliant. Just keep that
it,
going.
it makes for a fun story, but
Yeah. And you need
eh,
to have some modern history, like here's why the world is as ruined as it is. But you can still
oh,
make that
oh, I
interesting.
oh, I can answer that. It's called capitalism.
One, how dare you? Two, again, you're not wrong. You're very much correct with that.
I'm basically the embodiment of r/unpopular opinion at this point.
And I don't know. I feel like capitalism is bad is quite a popular and true opinion. It's just that the people who can make the change are the rich ones who love it because it's made them rich.
Oh, did you hear about that? Oh yeah, we want to change. We want to save the environment, but we won't give up our private jets.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, why?
I mean, saving the environment is important, just as long as everyone else does it. That's what it has to be. Like, you go and fix the environment. I'll be here on my plane, and that's fine.
Yeah, but it shouldn't have to be like that.
No, it definitely shouldn't. So it's people people wanting an ideal, but are unwilling to sacrifice what it takes to achieve that ideal. You know, it's like everything's worth doing until it inconveniences me. In which case, oh no, this is fine, because insert rationalization here.
It's just like me saying, yeah, I want to do everything to fix my back muscles, but I won't go to the gym.
Yeah, it's exactly like that. It's yeah, sort of this at best it's cognitive dissonance, you know, where you hold these conflicting ideas in your head and for some reason your brain doesn't think it's a contradiction, and at worst it's just straight up hypocrisy, isn't it?
Are we humans just wired to be hypocritical?
Yeah, we literally are.
Oh, damn.
It's very much a thing. Humans are wired to be able to believe what they believe is true and ignore logic if it challenges it for certain deeply held beliefs. It's a thing that was very useful evolutionarily, um, and I guess still enables some people to be successful, but is not so great for the species as a whole in terms of burning the planet down.
Because I myself, I'm always thinking about what I'm doing for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's always that little voice in my head that says, like, if you do this, then this statement would be invalid,
Yeah,
so to
yeah.
say.
Like trying to keep everything you say and do consistent with your internal
Yeah,
set of beliefs and morals.
yeah, it's some kind of autistic quirk that I have,
Yeah,
because I have mild autism.
sure. Yeah,
But yeah, I don't get it why people just go out of their way to be hypocritical.
yeah. I mean, I think a lot of the time it's not necessarily a deliberate thing, and they don't realize they're doing it. Or if they do realize they're doing it, their brain tricks them into thinking, no, this is okay because X, Y, Z weird logical reasons. Some people, like for example the British Prime Minister, are hypocritical because it benefits them and they don't care. They just say, no, I get what I want and I will say what I want to achieve it because they are effectively morally bankrupt. But I think that's a minority. I think most people are just victims of the fact that humans are really bad at being rational and really bad at challenging their own beliefs. Um,
This feels like some story like the ends justify the means, but not quite right.
yeah, that's. I think that's pretty fair as a statement. People just justify the ends they've got to by the means they use to get there, whether or not it's actually true. Their brain says, no, it was fine, so they don't have to have an existential crisis and break down in tears. Your brain looks after you, even if it doesn't really achieve much.
Okay. Yeah.
Keeping it light, keeping it happy.
Yeah. Keeping it light. On a lighter note.
As
No,
if that's possible.
I cannot make that joke. Never mind.
That's fine. See, self-censorship. It's healthy. It's good.
Until it isn't.
Yeah.
But so that's with everything.
Yeah. That's fair.
Oh, did you hear about that? Pfizer now got approval for a pill that. Oh wait, almost got approval for, I think,
Ooh,
for an experimental pill that cuts down on 90% of the risk of death in adults with COVID.
that is really good. That's
Yeah,
huge. I mean, if
because
as long as the rest of the trials go well and it gets approved, and then
yeah,
is made available sufficiently cheaply, which the vaccines were, at least to
yeah,
Western Europe, and the US.
But because 90% is a number I can live with.
Yeah, that's pretty good. It's pretty good. I mean, I was quite happy when the vaccine was going to be sort of 60% effective, like 60% protection. It's a hell of a lot better than 0%. That's brilliant. So 90, if you've got a
Yeah,
60 or 70% chance of not getting it from a vaccine, then a 90% chance of it being absolutely fine from a pill. I mean, yeah, bingo. That's stats 101. That's a brilliant thing. I am very hopeful about that, I think.
yeah, me too. Because if this is the way it goes, then maybe in a year or two we're free.
Yes, well, one can hope so. One can very much hope so.
And it will be something like the common cold. Once in the once in a couple of years it rears his ugly head and then it goes away.
Yes, yes, I hope it gets to that stage because it's not going to be eradicated, but if it can be taken to that level where it's manageable, that'd be that'd be very good. A friend of mine has been off work with COVID for the last 3 months because it's just hit her very hard. So if we can have medicine to people in situations like that where they can say, okay, you managed to contract it, but let's just make it not 3 months of being effectively just bedridden and exhausted. That'd be absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, something similar happened to my aunt.
Yeah.
Yeah, she contracted it as she works on a public school,
Hmm.
and yeah,
It's not.
things
It's
tends to happen in that kind of situation.
yeah. We were just very exposed to lots of other people and
But
can't
I
not
think
be.
it's also a combination of environment, age,
Yeah, definitely.
genetics.
Yeah, it feels particularly scattergun in how it affects different people by an array of factors, and
Yeah,
some people just have a really rough time with it, and some don't. So
because
it's
at this point for vaccination, people above the age of 40 are getting called in for a third shot.
that's good.
Yeah.
I think the age is higher than that in the UK for the third shot. But yeah, if people are in general being given boosters to help, suppress the level of um, the virus spread, that's got to be good, right? That has to be a nice thing.
Yeah, but it's also because here in the Netherlands it's spreading again.
But it's same in the UK. The case numbers are very very high.
Yeah, because we have so for some times we did away with uh, the masks, so to
Yeah,
say,
yeah.
in but literally yeah, from today onwards we have to wear them again.
There's similar stuff happening here as well. It just
Yeah.
makes you think, why did we ever relax this? It's not that inconvenient. No one likes
No,
wearing a mask, but it's not that much of a problem.
it was pressure from the how do you say that uh,
Anti-vaxxers,
no, people
idiots.
that own bars and
Oh,
stuff.
the hospitality sector.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because they were dead on their back, so to say.
yeah. I mean, I feel like it's okay for hospitality to function with people wearing masks. Like in the UK, a lot of it during the early summer, if I recall right, was that if you were a customer, you had to wear a mask while travelling to your table, but you could sit down and take your mask off while you were eating and drinking in your table, and all the staff wore masks,
And
so you moved around
I
the
would be
shop.
totally fine with a system like that.
Yeah, I think we all were as well.
Yeah, but
Um,
where I live, it was no or yes, no in between.
it's
For
ridiculous, isn't it?
some, okay, little bit of controversy in my opinion, but for some reason the Dutch people don't like to compromise. It's my way or the highway.
Right, I see. That feels self-defeating as an attitude for people to take, doesn't it?
Yeah, but it could also be an vocal minority that is literally vocal about it real loud.
Yeah, I think that's likely to be the case. That does often seem to be how things go with these matters. You get a few people who
Yeah.
somehow manage to spread their opinions very wide and shout very loud about something that's inane, under the guise of rational debate. So it's very frustrating. Frustrating when
Uh,
people are abusing rationality.
yeah, I wish for some rationality here.
Yeah. I'm glad it's not just us. It's not just us over here.
It's going on everywhere, but UK, America, China, they are big places
Yeah, they are.
because they are more covered, so to say,
Yeah, yeah,
in the nowadays media scene. So
yeah. It gets disproportionate representation, doesn't it?
yeah,
Yeah, but hopefully, measures coming back in will help to curb the increase in infections again, and medicines like this Pfizer thing, once it's fully approved and proven to work, hopefully it can break the back of it. I mean, things are a lot better now than they were this time last year with the vaccinations that have been rolled out. Things are
oh
a
yeah,
lot
they
more
are.
positive. There's far fewer deaths per infection, so that's nice. We just need to keep that trend going by everyone being sensible and listening to people who know what they're talking about.
Yeah, the problem is with listening to people they know what they're talking about is people don't like smart people.
No, no, it's like this person spent years
The the,
learning about this.
the
Think
moment
think
you're
they're a
gonna
dick if you
use
like, but
the
listen to
moment
them.
you're gonna use fancy words and numbers, you're out.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The communication of science needs to stop being here's the idea I'm trying to express
Mm.
and start
Even,
being here's the opinion I need you to take away.
even though education worldwide is getting better, even with that, people are not that smart
No, no, people.
and won't like the answers they hear.
I think people aren't to taught to think critically enough about the information they hear. They're not taught how to assess things as reliable or unreliable in terms of information, and they're not taught to challenge their own preconceptions and their own biases. So they end up in this place where they hear something that agrees with them and just run away with it and say, yes, confirmation bias, I love it. You agree with me, therefore it's true. Rather than,
And that's how you get Facebook groups.
exactly. Which, as a great segue, there is a Facebook page for the Unnecessary Difficul-teas podcast. Bang, we did it, Blue. We did it.
Yeah, we did
We
it.
worked it in.
There's also a Spotify and YouTube page,
Yes.
all with the same name.
Bam. It's almost like it was at least loosely planned or something. So that is where uh, this episode can be found, and subsequent future episodes should also be found, and any other unnecessary difficulty updates that might come around in the future. I don't know. Maybe we'll do something. Hard to say. Very hard to say.
Yeah.
But
For now, it's just this one. See how we're doing,
mm-hmm,
and the plan is to do it once a month
mm-hmm.
because we're both busy people,
Yeah, yeah.
and scheduling something like this could take sometimes up to a week.
Yes, I know. I'm sorry.
I'm
It's
not easy either, or
no, but yeah,
believe me.
yeah. And we need time to fully reflect on what combination of bags to use next. Naturally, wouldn't want to
Of
rush these
course,
decisions, would we?
it's the most important thing. The people come here for the tea,
Exactly.
and they
Or
live with
they better had
and they leave with some answers on their questions
exactly.
or a news perspective. Depends on what we're doing.
Yeah. And what have we learned today? We've learned that chamomile and English breakfast go tolerably well together.
Wait,
We've
I
all,
thought you said it tasted like dirt in the end.
the aftertaste is a bit like dirt, don't get me
Okay.
wrong, but it's not that bad. It was all right. You could get through it. And we've also learned that caramelized pear and tropical fruit,
Has a
it's,
great aftertaste.
yeah, that's nice. So
Hmm.
take that away into your life. Take it forwards with you. Spread the word that, yeah, you can sling 2 bags in a mug, and sometimes it won't be god awful. Victory.
And with that said, I am Blue Tomatoes. You can find me about on Twitter and on YouTube and maybe Twitch with the same name.
Uh,
And Yes.
And I am Ian J. Reid, and you can find me on Twitch as Twitch TV / Ian J. Reid, on YouTube as Ian J. Reid, on Twitter as at Timothy Babbage, because I made that account years ago, the different alias, and at ireadstories.co.uk, and Ian Reid Author on Facebook. Like, you get all sorts of places, mostly with just my name. So I've tried to keep it simple so that I can remember it as much as anything else. But thank you very much for listening to this hour and 10-minute ramble on loosely tea and also some other nonsense and various political views on the healthcare and corruption systems in our countries. So
And,
thank
we're hoping you're back for the next time.
yes, fingers crossed. Until then, friends. See you later.
Bye.